this event will be recorded. And again, my name is Dave Carberry. I am the president and CEO of InRadius. We're a local digital marketing company here in Baltimore. And on the panel we have today, Evelyn Hammid, who is from InRadius also. She heads up our client services side. And also facilitates the program that we have going on with HeartSmiles and Living Classroom. Then we have Austin. Austin, how do you say your last name? Weeder? All right, cool. Austin's the career coach at Living Classrooms. Chaz Ackley, who's the chief program officer over at Living Classrooms Foundation as well. And then Miss Joni, everybody in Baltimore knows Miss Joni. She's the founder of HeartSmiles. She's here with us, and we're so super excited that you could join us today. And Joni, you have a special guest with us today, Charles, right?
I do, yes. We call him Big 16, y'all. He just turned 16.
Big 16.
Happy birthday.
In the house. Happy birthday. So, because this program is really about youth leaders, let's get started off with Charles. Tell us about yourself. Where are you going to school? What are you doing? Why are you in the program?
So, hey everybody, my name is Charles. I'm 16 years old. I attend Mergenthaler Vocational Technical High School. And I joined HeartSmiles because it's a place where people like me, they can have opportunities to better themselves and also get paid while doing it. So everybody should want to join HeartSmiles, to be honest, but everybody don't know about HeartSmiles. So I feel like it's good working with other people so people can know about it and better themselves also.
The big 16 with the big money. I like that. Well, and so let me kind of give you the intro on how we met HeartSmiles at the InRadius side. So I was a part of the Goldman Sachs Bloomberg 10,000 Small Businesses program. And this was something that was introduced to us throughout the program. And I thought, wow, what an incredible program that this is, to be able to connect with kids all around the city to just figure out, to help them understand some of the businesses that are in the community and what we can do. So when they said that this program was available, we jumped on it, and we've absolutely loved it. So we're excited to be a part of it. And the reason for this panel today really is to get the word out, to tell other businesses what this is all about, and how we can share and spread the word of what you guys do. So Ms. Joni, I'm going to kick it off to you. You started HeartSmiles. Tell us the origin story. What inspired you to start the organization? How it got started, how you got involved with Goldman Sachs. Just give a little bit of the profile.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dave and Evelyn, both for just having this event and for inviting HeartSmiles to be a part of it. To be honest with you, Dave, I started HeartSmiles because Baltimore City Police killed a kid named Freddie Gray. And I was angry, upset over how the young people were handling it. As somebody who came from Baltimore, West Baltimore specifically, the same neighborhood where they killed that kid, I just found it very, very disrespectful just to the community. And I was angry thinking, why isn't anybody telling these young people that that's not how you create change, positive change, sustainable change in your neighborhood? Like, you just burn down the place where your grandma needs to go to get her medicine. You're burning down the same places where you need to eat and to live at. Why isn't anybody telling them that this isn't the way to go? And for me, just the type of person that I am, if I'm complaining about something, then I'm also going to do my best to be part of the solution. I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines, just giving my commentary. So I quit my job. I had a nice, cushy job in corporate America, Comcast. I was not worried about Baltimore at all. I was one of the people who, in an untraditional way, worked myself out of poverty. I didn't want to be in the community, so I moved out of the community because I didn't want to deal with it. But I felt a strong calling to say, you know what, this is why my route towards success was so untraditional, so that I could come back and show young people that it is possible to make it out, and that you can do something with your life, and that you are valuable. You just have to find your purpose to be able to do it. So that was the spirit that I started HeartSmiles with, and it's the same spirit that carries us now. And the main goal and mission is to find young people who want to do more with themselves and put them right at the intersection of access and opportunity. Remove all the barriers, remove all the blockages, basically give them no excuse except for their own if they just lazy and don't want to do it, but basically disarm them of any excuses as to why you can't be successful. And connecting with Radius and other small businesses like you guys has just been a blessing, because it's opened up a whole nother world for us to be able to say to young people, oh, you're interested in marketing? We got an internship lined up for you. Basically, all you got to do is show up. Oh, you're interested in construction? You know what? We got this great internship, this great partner that we're working with. So being able to work with the 10K small businesses has been an absolute blessing, because it provides us the opportunity to not just talk about opportunities and some of the things that you can do, but really give young people tangible things that they can walk into, that they can see, that they can feel, and start really learning about some of these pathways that interest them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you are, when I met you, when you came in to speak to the class, I mean, true inspiration. And you know, it just, I was just so choked up and emotional just because of the things that you are doing in this community, and you are making huge changes in Baltimore, especially for the youth. So, you know, we love you, and we're glad you're around doing this. So thanks for quitting your job and being here. So walk me through. Now, I'm on the marketing board for Living Classrooms, and I know of Living Classrooms pretty intimately. You know, you got all the boats around the harbor that they manage and what have you. So, you know, Chaz, how did you connect with Joni, and what's the whole story on that side?
Sure. So thank you, Dave and Evelyn and Radius, for having us. And Charles, happy birthday again. You know, I think for Living Classrooms, we're in our 36th year of operation. And again, it goes back to our mission, inspiring individuals to achieve their dreams through hands-on learning. Our motto is learning by doing. So we are an organization, whether it's the boats in the harbor and attaining a job there to make sure that the engine works, or an after-school program at one of our community centers, providing access to opportunity for the entire family, meeting the needs where they are. So, you know, synergies with HeartSmiles, you just heard Joni allude to her story. It's incredible. The matching of our organization's values in excellence, collaboration, integrity. It just makes so much sense for our two organizations to work together to provide access to opportunity and removing barriers. That's what we do every day. We're a solution center for people of Baltimore City.
That's awesome. And so, like, how many kids do you typically work with, or what's the typical clientele that you've got coming in on an annual basis, let's say?
So Living Classrooms Foundation works with close to 25,000 children, youth, and adults between Baltimore and DC every year. We place about 200 individuals into jobs. We work with, I could rattle off statistics of over 123,000 hours of youth in our programs. The main impact for us though, is long-term relationships. That's what impact is. When somebody might fall out of a program, but still have your phone number and call you and know that they can reach out when something comes up in their life. Because we're doing life together. That's what our programs and initiatives do. We should do. We're a safety net. We want to be, we want to show up any way people want us to show up. So the year-round program that we are fortunate enough to partner with in Radius and HeartSmiles, we currently have 18 year-round fellows with us. Approximately 14 alumni, so who go through our program and work with us right now.
Wow, okay. And Ms. Joni, so I know you've got a lot of applicants that come through the city schools annually. So how do the kids find out about you? And then how many applications do you have coming in on the regular?
Oh man, that's a really cool question, Dave, because really we are very non-committal in like the way that we do things. So everybody has like their own like little story about how they heard about HeartSmiles. But for the most part, over 90% of the young people who are with us heard about it through a friend. Like somebody told them to come to a Winning Wednesday or Thriving Thursday or Focus Friday. And you don't need to sign up. Like you just come, you just show up. Even pre-pandemic, like people could just show up. You knew you were going to eat good because I like to eat good and I'm only feeding you what I would put on my table. And you knew that you were going to learn something and that you were going to have just good conversations with peers and caring adults. When it comes to getting into like the internships, we definitely have about 40 or 50 young people at any given time who are asking us on a daily basis, how can they grab an internship? How can they start being more hands-on with working? And that's the part that Chaz and I are trying to figure out now, like how do we continue to offer these opportunities year round and not just lock people for the summer and then for the rest of the year, you don't have anything to do.
Well, what kind of things are happening this summer? Now that we're opening back up, you know, I know when we had done the program, and Evelyn, you can actually chime in on this. For us, it became a little difficult just doing the online version because of COVID this past last year. So, you know, are you seeing and excited about like some of the summer stuff that's coming up because now people are getting back together?
Well, as a natural introvert, like I'm okay with with the pandemic life, but I am excited to be able to start doing a little bit more work in person. We're actually doing 100% virtual for this summer just because of our specific partnership with the city and the way they have things set up. So we're going to ride out the rest of 2021 mainly from a virtual perspective and just do pockets of in-person work where it makes sense, and then work on our hybrid strategy for next year. So 2022 is when you can expect to see a lot more of us in person.
That's great. So, you know, hopefully we can get more businesses signed up to get some of those interns ready to go. That if you've got so many sitting out there, I mean, this is a great opportunity for businesses just to jump on board. So let's switch over to Austin real quick. So Austin, let's talk about the coaching side. I've sat on a couple of the sessions where, you know, I've just watched Miss Joni with the kids and just some of the coaching that happens and just the education side of it. And it's pretty intense. I mean, it's a really great, strong community, just watching the kids bond together and then just how powerful that they get like moving forward together. So could you walk us through that and some of the things that you do with them?
Sure. Yeah. Just like right off the bat, my first notice coming into this project is that it's heavily youth oriented. It's heavily youth led. And I think that's a beautiful opportunity for the youths that want to step up, want to, you know, lead, want to grow, want to expand their networks. So when we put these youths and opportunities to grow and to lead, their creativity comes out, right? The way that they go through their minds are limitless. So, you know, we have people leading in different functions that adults lead, and it's very impressive as adults watching these youths use their creativity as well as their networks to grow.
Yeah, and Evelyn, do you want to speak on that too? Just some of your experience with some of the interns that we've had too, just with the creativity side?
Yeah, totally. Having a youth perspective in a business full of adults is really great. I know when our first YouthWorks fellow started last summer, you know, I started her off on, it was virtual. So, you know, I was definitely a little bit nervous about, you know, making connections with her and, you know, figuring out exactly how that was going to work with a high schooler who may have never worked remotely before, or even, you know, an office job. So yeah, I started her off on, you know, like a little like self-led training session that I had put together for our sales reps. And, you know, by the end of her first day, she just sent me photos of all of her handwritten notes about all the training material. And it was something that I had never seen before, but I was like, oh my God, yeah, she's in high school. She's used to, you know, just taking notes by hand, and she's showing me that she did the work, and it was really great. And we basically put her in charge of helping us put together a partnerships program. we thought it would be a good opportunity for her to not only connect with our business and Radius, but connect with other businesses and, just kind of learn how to network, learn how different small businesses can work together. And yeah, we kind of helped her learn how to put together a branded PowerPoint, how to just create a program on her own. And she brought a whole lot of great ideas to this program. She wanted to involve more Black-led businesses, more youth businesses, and just really opened up our eyes to how entrepreneurial Baltimore's youth are. She put us in touch with a few young graphic designers, shared their Instagrams with me. She was out there doing marketing for ourselves just through like direct messaging other Baltimore businesses on Instagram. So it was just really, really inspiring to see her just kind of do what the young kids are doing nowadays, but in a business setting. And she was just such a valuable asset.
She's a true entrepreneur too, and she's had her own smoothie shop happening too. So how is she doing, Miss Joni? How's Cameron?
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's in high demand. Our problem with Cam is everybody wants her. So it's like, oh man, like, look, we got to try to share the love. But yes, I mean, just talk about talent beyond talent. And you would have never, ever known it, had you guys not created a space for it, for her to be able to showcase it. Because so many young people don't have a place to be able to do that. They just got to keep it all bottled inside. So thank you guys for allowing the space for that to come out and show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's swing back to Charles. You're quiet over there in the corner. So walk us through, like, what do you want to do? What are your career paths, and what are you doing now with the program? Who are you working with?
Well, before I say it, I just want to say, like, her name is Camry. I know if she was here, she'll be like, my name is Cam. So I want to just say her name is Camry. So, and what I want to do in what my career path is right now, like I said, I attend Mergenthaler Vocational Technical High School, and it's a trade school. So right now my trade is computer science, and I really want to be like a computer engineer and go to college for that. And so you saying, what was the second question?
Yeah, so the question is are you working with a company now currently?
Well, I'm working with HeartSmiles, but she's always like setting things up. Like Miss Mo is always texting me about internships that I can work with for computer engineering and things like that. Like she's setting me up with a summer internship also for computer things like that. So it helps a lot. Like I didn't even know. I thought I would be sitting in a school classroom for like 3 years learning about some coding, and now I'm getting internships with paid internships, learning about what I want to do in my career path. So it really does a lot for me. So
yeah, and that goes back to just letting businesses know about this program that's out there, because we're recording this right now, so we're going to push this out and get it to Facebook and all the other social media platforms just to spread the word. But if there is a technical company out there, a design company or a programming company that wants to join, how do they get involved? Like who should they reach out to? What's the best way for them to connect with you guys? Miss Joni, you want to talk to that, or?
Yeah, so Instagram, y'all, go right now at HeartSmiles MD. That's where the young people are. That's where you'll find me. But also heartsmilesmd.com as well. And you can go there and just kind of look at some of the things that we're doing. And there's a contact space as well for you to get in contact with us directly. Anybody who's familiar with the 10K SB program, Miss Nanette Smith, she's like the powerhouse behind this. She's the connector of all connectors. So she helps us to make a lot of connections with some of the businesses that are associated through the 10K SB program. But Instagram is where you're going to find us.
Okay. I think Evelyn actually just popped it into the chat. So if anybody wants to check that out. And if you have any questions, just to any of the participants today, please put them up in the chat for us, and we can get to those too in advance, so we can answer any questions that you might have. So So the living classroom side of things now, Chaz. So what are some of the things that you have kids working on? I know you've got the Under Armour facility on the other side of town, on the east side, and you've got, of course, the water side of things. What are some programs here locally that you're doing?
Locally, we have we'll start with the school. So Crossroads Charter School is a middle school, 6th or 8th grade, 162 students. We have multiple job training and certification programs for individuals. One that stands out is our reentry program. It's called Project Serve. It's rapid attachment to work for individuals who are reentering the community post-incarceration. So individuals are provided a stable income immediately, with wraparound support from each other as they re-enter the community. So we work with Baltimore City, and they help clear lots for individuals. Our community centers, our Powerhouse, which is located in Perkins Homes, our Park House, located in beautiful Patterson Park, and our UA House here on Fayette Street, offer summer camps, which are coming up. So 200 slots for 1st through 8th graders. We're going to be fully in person this summer, which we're very excited about. We also have a litany of opportunities for individuals that can be found at livingclassrooms.org. So opportunities for certification programs, jobs, not only with our own organization, but other companies such as in Radius that may be hiring, and individuals are looking for placement. So livingclassrooms.org would be a great place to start. I'm sure Austin can put his email and phone number in the chat as well as a great resource. I can put mine in there too for individuals who have any questions about job placement, youth programs, anything that's happening with Living Classrooms.
Okay, great. Awesome. So Ms. Joni, Chaz just brought up Baltimore City, which I know you work pretty closely with the city. Like, how did you connect with someone in the city to tell them about what you're doing? Because, your company is kind of small and it just started off, pretty recently. So getting involved and getting awareness and kind of shaking the trees. I mean, you're great at that, but how did you do it? Like, what was the process?
Dave, I wish I could sit here and take credit for that, but like really I can't. The product, as in like the heartbeats that we were producing, were literally out there speaking for themselves. People came to me. I got invited to every table that I'm at. And I'm so humble about it, but graciously, I was invited to those tables. Somebody found out about the work that we were doing and said, hey, you need to meet with Catherine Pugh. She was the mayor at the time when we were kind of just getting started. So, and she came to like one of the first HeartSmiles events. And then people who were in her cabinet and her administration connected me to other people. And as the mayors changed, we just always had a great connection, because when our heartbeats showed up, you knew they weren't just regular young people from Baltimore City. You knew that they were heartbeats, and you knew that they were primed for leadership, and that they were able to step into some of these roles and go into some of these spaces and not just be the token young person at the table for the photo op, but to be the voice in the room for young people who don't have a voice at the table. And our reputation just kind of grew from there. And next thing you know, the city council people were calling us, the health department was calling us, other universities like the University of Maryland, Hopkins, we have a very close relationship with them. So people just start calling us, hey, we want to work with Heartbeats. Even most recently, like earlier this month, the Baltimore City Police Department, the people who are working directly on the consent decree, said we're building a youth advisory board and we want Heartbeats.
No, that's awesome. That's so freaking cool. And then you have a powerful voice now around town, and you're wanted to come in and speak to everyone. So within that, like, walk us through maybe some success stories. Like, where are some of the kids now and what are they doing? Because if you started this, how many years ago was it? 5 years ago? Where are some of the successes as they've gotten out of school?
Oh my gosh. It's so many. Let me tell you about two. And let me just kind of preface this by telling everybody that success looks different for every single young person. And even if it doesn't fit in your mind what you think success looks like, trust and believe that's leaps and bounds for that young person and their family. One of the biggest success stories is we had a young man who decided to leave his gang. And if you know anything about gangs, you don't get out of gangs alive. He threw his gun in the gutter and said, I am committing myself to success. I'm a professional now. That's not what I'm doing with my life. If any of the people who I used to associate with, he called them his brothers. He said, if any of them want to get out, I'm going to help them get out. And he started one by one having conversations with some of those gang members. Some of them listened, some of them didn't. But he was successful in getting one other person to leave that gang and now start to change his life around. That is huge. So that is one that I'll point to. Another one that I'll point to is a young lady who she was into prostitution, y'all. Simple as that. And you're talking about somebody 17 years old who felt like she didn't have any value and she was worthless and she could never make it in the professional world. Or she's working in the professional world. She's no longer exchanging sex for money. She's also trying to help other young women in her family escape that lifestyle. And she is working towards hopefully purchasing her own home, but she has found a living space for just herself now. Success, changing the trajectory of her family dynamics. We got some of the other traditional success stories too. I could tell you about my college kids and people who are going to Spelman and going to Chowan and all that stuff like that. But those are the ones that I really want you to think about, because whether or not you know it, when you open up these opportunities, those are the kind of lives that you are changing without you even knowing it. And it's such a big deal.
Wow, absolutely. And it's one person at a time. I mean, you know, with one success, hopefully they're spreading the word and they're working with other people. Just like you said, some of these success stories are happening. So that's truly amazing. Wow. You know, you're talking about successes, and one of the conversations that we had talked about too just recently was failure. You know, some of these kids learn by failure too. So, you know, within that side of it, I'm some stories with the failure side of it. So, you know, tell us about that. Like, what's the learning experience on some of the fails? Because, like, you know, we're not always 100% successful, so we all have failures.
Oh my God. And I hate to put y'all on the spot, but y'all have a perfect example of this. And this is what I mean when I say a safe space for our young people to crash and burn as they're learning. Like, we can't, it's just not realistic for us to expect a 17 or 18-year-old to operate in the workplace as a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old. But I can tell you, in some cases, after they've learned the lessons and they've had a chance to kind of fail forward and fail through, they'll run circles around your 30 or 40-year-old. But recently, y'all, Dave and Evelyn took on one of our heartbeats, and great kid. I mean, good personality, upbeat, but like she just couldn't get herself together in terms of managing priorities, keeping the communication lines open, just like things like that. And it caused her to get fired. It caused her to get terminated. But what it also caused her to do was to do deep reflection. And now she is taking life like really by the horn. So she's now started her own business where she's using some of the skills that she learned from Evelyn and Dave to promote her video business, where she is doing videos for local like rappers and singers and people like that. She's charging about $150 per video. Wow. And also on her way to college as well. She's a graduating senior on her way to college. But that experience forced her to self-reflect and to really think about where she dropped the ball and where the gap was with where she wants to be professionally versus where she is, and just forced her to kind of fill in how she needed to grow and what she needed to do in order to be better. So it hurts while you're going through it. It's very disappointing as you go through it. But for people who are used to working with young people, that's just the cycle. And if anything, for us, we are happy that they get to make those mistakes now at this age versus you out there on your own with real responsibilities at 20, 30 some years old, still trying to figure this stuff out. So Thank you guys for letting her crash and burn in your space. It paid off, Dave.
It wasn't intentional, but then it's so creative. I mean, just, big lyric. I mean, like that's one of the things, like, with how she can communicate and write within her rhymes. It's just, she's amazing like that way. She's such a talent. So if anybody needs her and wants to spend some money to make a video, I highly suggest her. So
Inspiring that she started her own business. Oh my gosh. I know she was super talented and creative, always running off to photo shoots. Rapping, writing her own music. So I'm super excited to hear that.
yeah,
Not every internship is going to be a fit. And yeah, I'm really glad I got to know her, even if the internship didn't work out.
Yeah, she didn't have time for us. She was too busy. So, all right, we got a couple questions. Looks like Shan Gordon just asked, Charles, if you were running the program, is there anything that you would add or anything that you would change to the program?
So there's not really much that I can add, to be honest. It's already youth led, to be like, it's Miss Joni and other people like Mr. Austin there, but they're basically breaking down the doors so that we can walk through them. It's already kind of youth led, so it's not really much that I can change or that I would want to change because it's so many opportunities out here that they provide. So it's not really much that I can change about it.
Hey, so Austin, go through and talk about some of the students and what they're interested in doing. So, like Charles is interested in doing the programming side of things, and you've got 40 other applicants. Like, what are some of the careers and goals that they want to achieve? And so we can put a shout out just to other businesses that might fit with them.
Yeah, definitely. So there's definitely a diverse set of like interests we have within the program right now. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people starting up their own businesses, interested in marketing their businesses as well. We have some like engineers like Charles, computer engineering as well. We have some more artsy people with like music, acting and performing, right? And then we also have, we have some people that are interested in like, there's one company that we're working with right now, which is, really my favorite thing is when somebody joins an internship and then that becomes their interest. They didn't necessarily know before time that they were interested in something. They hop in an internship and then they start like really, really getting interested in that. So we have a couple of students right now with our DC program, working with like sewing and like making clothes and stuff. I think that's like, they're really liking the program, very, very interesting for them. And then finally, we have some construction, people who are interested in construction as well. So yeah, definitely like a diverse interest portfolio for our fellows.
That's awesome. Yeah, I truly believe in internships because I did it like back when I was in high school through, and I always thought I wanted to be a news broadcaster. That's why I'm doing this interview thing, because I didn't become a news broadcaster. But I got into the sales side of it, and I learned the advertising piece of it, and those things are important when you do the internship side of it, because you have no idea what's out there sometimes. And that's why we need more businesses coming on board that can really just showcase themselves to other individuals and have that opportunity. And this program, I think, really has helped us hear the voices in the community, understand what's needed out there, and we just want to promote it too on our end. Anybody, if you guys want to unmute, have questions for our panelists right now? And Deborah, you had put something in the chat. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Hi, I didn't want to sabotage anything, so I put it in quietly in the chat, but you all have kids, and it sounds, I'm sorry I missed the beginning, that a lot of this is after school programming. And I just had a meeting where somebody was saying that while their kids are in the after school programming, they're looking for more connected with, we're an in-school program, so we're co-curricular. So we're just launching 10th graders. We've been working with 11th and 12th graders for 20 years in Baltimore City. And we're a 2-year high school program and then like a forever, I don't know when we end, college program, in that once our kids graduate college, we stick with them through the backpack to briefcase transition and through I just had someone thank us for their baby books that we just sent them. They're 30 years old. So
Oh, wow,
it was
that's
kind of cool,
awesome.
right? It was really cool. So anyway, what we do is we do STEM exposure and immersion while they're in 11th and now 10th grade, and also internships. We're the host, and then we place them where they're interested. So you might see our kids at Living Classrooms, and you might see our kids, Joni, at your program, because we just place them out. And then in the senior year of high school, we're all about college match, college applications, FAFSA, financial aid, helping the kids get into where they need. Every kid gets a writing advisor, some tutoring to build their grades and SAT scores up. And we help them choose where to go to college, because the example I always give is a kid really wants to be an engineer, but they've also had their heart set on Towson University. We love Towson. It's not where you want to go if you want to be an engineer, but a kid doesn't know that. So we work with Match, and then we provide support services to them while they're in college to make sure they get out. And about 80% of our kids earn a degree. And they're all Baltimore City kids, and they're in the 15 high schools. And they're in the 15 high schools that not everybody wants to be at. So we are not at City, Poly, Western, School for the Arts, or Bard. We're everywhere else. So if you have kids in after school programming and you're looking for something for them to do during school, so we work together with you, while not in competition, please reach out. We're wrapping up our recruiting for the fall, but recruiting online is really challenging, as many of you know. So we are going to extend our application process through September, when they all come back to school. Thank goodness they're coming back to school.
That's awesome.
So
Well, and then,
thank you.
and I see your email address at buildingsteps.org is in the chat. So you guys want to reach out to Deborah and check out the chat. So we've got like 15 more minutes. Kind of want to go around to the panel and just get your thoughts on where you see the program going in the next, I don't know, 2 years, 5 years, like the growth side of it. Where and how you want to grow it, and next steps, and what's the future for Baltimore City? I mean, what's the future for innovation that we've got in Baltimore as we're going through all of this stuff? You want to start, Charles? Let's start with you. We want to hear you again. You're the voice of this thing.
So, should 5 years or 2 years?
So pick one, pick two.
I'm gonna say like 5 years.
All
So,
right.
HeartSmiles in 5 years, HeartSmiles don't just set people up for college; it sets people up for life. Like, I see maybe more than half, maybe all of them, people either with their own business in 5 years, very successful, or in some job where they're the boss, like building their way up. So, I don't know. I don't know if I see Miss Joni probably doing Focus Fridays and Winning Wednesdays, or if she gonna have some little leaders doing Winning Wednesdays or Focus Fridays for her. So I'm not sure, because I can't really tell the future, but I know that it's gonna be a very successful one.
Awesome. Yeah, well, the future's bright, right? So that's what you're going to be doing, especially working with this crew. Jazz, how about you?
Yeah, I think for the program itself, we continue to improve, right? I think a lot of the stories that we hear about entrepreneurialism, right, or students who are interested in their own business, that's a mindset, right? And I think the mindset is something that Joni and Austin, HeartSmiles specifically, creates that beautiful space for individuals to dream and to have a safety net of other students like them. They can talk out their ideas, and then to bring in other individuals who've done what they've done and been successful in either job, school, their own business, to dream that way. So, I don't have specific metrics of what the future will look like. All I know is a lot of the beauty in what Joni was saying, in the talent and brilliance and untapped potential that lies within youth within Baltimore, that continues to flourish in whatever direction they want to flourish, right? Whether that's equitable access to education, to jobs, to whatever it may be, where their life is positive and successful on their terms. I think diversity in the workforce, companies like yours and Radius being willing to host internships. We know internships leads to job opportunities for all, which is something I think all companies need to look inward to see what is the makeup of your workforce, right? What does it look like? Internships help with that. So your willingness to lean in, not only in Radius and 10,000 small businesses, but all. Those would be some of my quick hitters of things I'd like to see. And a lot of what the ideals you've heard shared today grow within, leaders and organizations. I'm a big believer in that people can do amazing things in whatever space they're in. It doesn't matter if you're the mayor or an individual who sits at the front desk at the UA house. You are a leader and you have the ability to impact those around you. I feel strongly about that. And it's a way of being and it's a thought process. And whether you want to call it growth or abundance or entrepreneurial, the mindset of always wanting more and thinking about how we can improve our spaces is a goal and a dream I have for everything in Baltimore and beyond.
Awesome. Evelyn, how about you?
Where I'm seeing this go? Well, I mean, I love working within Radius. I've been within Radius for a little over 2 years now. And I feel like I've managed quite a few interns now. Camry was my first intern, but we've had a few other college interns since then, as well as our other fellow this February. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to continually improving the internship program and really figuring out how we can continue to support Baltimore's youth and, get them some work experience, make sure that it's a positive experience for them, and make sure that they're really getting all that they can get out of the program.
Awesome. Austin.
Yeah, I think it's just about expanding the program to reaching more communities. Right now, we're expanding the program to DC as well. And definitely pick up more opportunities and grow our connections and networking to businesses located in Baltimore and beyond. Really trying to expand our connections so that we can have a lot of relationships that benefit everybody involved. Like Charles was saying, connections are huge. Networking is really, really, really what it's about with nonprofit business. So it's all about connections and networking with that. So I think in the future, 5 to 10 years, continue to grow and continue to foster the relationships that we have, as well as make new ones with more businesses, more nonprofits, not just located in Baltimore, but Baltimore and beyond. Use Baltimore as a center, the centerpiece of this operation, and it grow from Baltimore and beyond. So have Baltimore as the main center of where all these relationships are being created, and then expanding them from Baltimore.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's, as we talked about it before, it's one person at a time, but it's also one business at a time. So, our goal today really is let's spread the word, let's get it out there. And Austin, you hit it too, just from Baltimore and beyond. So how far can we take this? And I'm glad this is being recorded too, because Chaz, that was amazing. I couldn't have written a better script from what you had said too. So thank you. And then finally, Miss Joni, we're going to end it with you. So where you see everything happening, you are just, the prognosticator of Baltimore and what's happening and guiding it.
Well, I have two main visions, Dave. The first vision is that for Baltimore to be a model for offering year-round opportunities for young people. And I know a lot of cities struggle simply because they don't have the money and there's not enough jobs who are willing to host somebody, especially during your busy seasons and stuff like that. But this model of being able to connect with different businesses and work in partnership with the mayor's office and other nonprofits really makes it so much easier to be able to have that framework where a young person if you want to be employed year round, you don't have to, but if you want to, then you absolutely have that option. And not only do you have that option to be employed year round, you have your pick as well. So we're not just going to confine you to working in a pizza shop if that's not necessarily what you want to do. We'll be able to have a network to be able to put people where their interest lies. And then the second vision is for every person in Baltimore, young people specifically, to know that if I want this opportunity, if I want to be successful, then this is where I go to do that. And if you choose not to, then that's on you, but at least for people to know and to understand that this opportunity is here and it's open for any and everybody who wants it. And that's for other cities around this country that look like Baltimore and share our challenges.
Absolutely. Well said. So how do they reach you? One last time.
Instagram, y'all, at HeartSmiles MD. That's where you get me.
You got it. Well, thank you all for participating today. We really, really appreciate it. Love working with you. Can't wait to do more stuff in the future. And hopefully we're spreading the word. So thank you so much.
Can I also add something real quick? So Ms. Joni spoke on how connections with the mayor and etc. So Ms. Joni actually has 5 heartbeats that are facilitating 5 meetings based on gun violence, reentry into Baltimore, community, things like that. And I want to put the link down in case you wanted to let me see, in case you wanted to join and listen to us speak on things like that. The mayor will also be attending. And yeah, it's from 12 p.m. to 2:30 on a Saturday. So
This Saturday, this coming Saturday?
Huh?
Awesome. What's the link? Where is it in the chat?
Yeah, I put the link in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate that. We got it. BeMoreChildren.com/summit. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. You all have a great weekend, and thank you for doing this. We really, really appreciate it. Happy Innovation Week.
Same to you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
we'll see you.